In a world where everyone is shouting to be seen, true power lies in silence. The more you talk, the more you leak your energy, and every dream, every plan begins to lose its sacred force when it is exposed to the noise of others. Learn to protect your inner world like a sacred temple. Not everyone deserves access to your thoughts, your pain, your blessings, or your next move. The ones who speak less are not weak. They are wise enough to understand that silence is not emptiness. It is strength under control. When you learn to keep your life private, your energy stops scattering. Your peace grows, your focus sharpens, and your destiny unfolds quietly away from the eyes of envy and judgment. Remember, the tree grows in silence before it bears fruit in public. You can feel it, can't you? That subtle drain inside you after explaining too much, after telling someone your dreams, your fears, your next big step. It's like a quiet exhaustion that seeps into your spirit. The kind that doesn't come from physical effort, but from giving away too much of your unseen energy. Protect your energy, not just your plans, because what you speak about constantly begins to lose its sacred fire. Your energy is the essence of your life force. It's what fuels your purpose, your focus, your creativity. Every word you speak releases a fragment of that essence into the world. When you share your plans with everyone, you're scattering pieces of your power across different minds, different energies. And not all of them wish you well. Some will silently doubt you, some will envy you, and some will unknowingly drain your momentum with their thoughts alone. It's not about fearing others, it's about understanding that energy is real. The invisible exchange between people is constant, and your life force deserves protection. Think of a candle burning in the wind. If it's left exposed, even a small breeze can extinguish it. But when you cover it gently, it burns longer, stronger, and steadier. Your energy works the same way. The more you expose it, the easier it is for distractions, opinions, and negativity to blow out your inner flame. Protecting your energy means creating boundaries, saying less, and learning to feel the power of your own silence. When you guard your energy, you begin to notice something miraculous. Your intuition grows louder. You make decisions from clarity, not from pressure. You stop chasing validation and start building self-trust. You realize that you don't need to explain yourself to anyone because truth doesn't demand an audience. You move differently, you speak differently, and you attract differently. You stop fighting to be understood because your peace becomes more valuable than attention. People often misunderstand silence. They think it means passivity or weakness. But silence is not the absence of power. It's the refinement of it. The river that runs deep makes the least noise. The lion does not roar while it hunts. Stillness is not emptiness, it's mastery. When you stop giving your energy to every conversation, every conflict, every person seeking to drain you, you begin to rise in unseen ways. Your presence itself becomes magnetic. You must understand that your energy is your currency in this universe. Every thought, every word, every emotion is an investment. Spend it wisely. Stop wasting it on proving your worth or explaining your vision. Let your actions carry your message. Let your results announce your strength. The quieter your path, the more focused your energy becomes. The more focused it becomes, the faster it manifests into reality. So from now on, protect your energy the way a guardian protects a sacred temple. Not everyone deserves entry. Not every voice deserves your response. Choose stillness over noise. Choose reflection over reaction. Every time you resist the urge to over-explain or overshare, you reclaim a piece of yourself, you gather your scattered light back into your center. And from that center, everything becomes clear: who you are, what you want, and where you are meant to go. Remember this: not every truth needs to be spoken. Not every plan needs to be announced. What is sacred must be protected in silence until it is strong enough to stand in the light. So speak less, move wisely, and hold your energy close to your heart, because the one who learns to protect their energy does not just guard their plans. They guard their destiny. There is a strange and quiet danger in being seen too much. The moment you begin to rise, eyes start to follow. Some look at you with admiration, others with love, but a few silently with envy. And envy doesn't always come from enemies. Sometimes it hides in the hearts of those who clap for you. That's why silence is your shield. When you keep your progress private, you protect the sacred energy of your journey from the unseen shadows that feed on your light. Envy is not always loud or obvious. It can live in a friend's curious question, in a relative's subtle comparison, or in the quick shift of tone when you share good news. It's not about blaming others. It's about understanding human nature. Not everyone has mastered their emotions, and when they see someone growing faster, shining brighter, or walking with purpose, something unsettles inside them. Their unhealed parts start whispering, "Why not me?" And in that whisper, energy shifts. That's why the more you speak, the more doors you open for that invisible energy to enter your space. Silence closes those doors. Silence keeps your blessings safe. Think of your life like a garden. You plant new seeds and immediately invite the whole world to see them. Many feet will trample over the soil. Some unintentionally, others out of curiosity, and a few with quiet resentment. But if you plant those seeds in silence, water them privately, and let the sun and time do their work, they grow strong before anyone even knows they exist. That is how protection works. Unseen, calm, patient. You don't owe the world explanations about your growth. You don't need to justify your peace or display your progress for it to be real. The moment you stop speaking about every step you take, you begin to move with freedom. You stop worrying about opinions. You stop performing for applause. You start living for truth, not for attention. And that freedom is powerful. It allows you to grow without interference. There is a kind of strength that only silence can build. When you learn to keep your mouth shut and your spirit guarded, your energy stops leaking through unnecessary conversations. You stop giving people the power to shape your mood or doubt your vision. You become your own protector. You begin to realize that not every good moment needs to be shared. Not every success needs to be announced. The moment you tell the world everything, you give them something to attack. But when you stay silent, your peace becomes untouchable. Silence also allows divine timing to unfold without resistance. When you stop broadcasting your progress, you give life the space to move things quietly for you. There is no need to explain what you are doing when the results will soon speak louder than words ever could. Keep in mind, the loudest ones often fall first because they invite too many eyes too early. But those who build quietly rise steadily, beyond noise and beyond reach. When you begin to understand this, you stop feeling the need to prove yourself. You begin to enjoy the comfort of privacy. You feel the peace that comes from knowing that your life no longer belongs to the judgment or curiosity of others. You create a shield around yourself made not of anger or pride, but of calm silence. A shield that reflects negativity without absorbing it. A shield that keeps your focus pure and your energy protected. So hold your silence like a sword. Guard your blessings like sacred jewels. Speak less about your victories and let your actions echo in the hearts of those who watch. The less they know, the safer your spirit becomes. Because silence doesn't just protect you, it elevates you. It makes you untouchable to envy, invisible to judgment, and unshakable in your purpose. The one who walks in silence walks with peace, and peace is the greatest protection of all. Some people listen not to understand you, but to measure you. They listen to gather pieces of your story, not to hold them with care, but to carry them elsewhere. This is why not every listener is loyal. You must learn to discern who deserves access to your inner world, because every time you open your heart, you open a doorway into your energy. And not every soul who stands before that doorway enters with pure intentions. You've felt it before? That strange discomfort after you've shared something deeply personal. You walk away from the conversation, and instead of feeling lighter, you feel exposed. It's because you gave a part of yourself to someone who wasn't ready or willing to protect it. Some people wear the mask of a friend, but carry the heart of a spectator. They don't wish you harm, but they don't wish you better either. They simply observe, waiting to see if your story rises or falls, and in their curiosity, your energy begins to scatter. Words are sacred. Every time you speak about your dreams, your struggles, your victories, you release invisible power into the world. That power needs protection. When shared with the wrong ears, turns into noise, misunderstood, misused, or misjudged. This is why silence and discernment are not signs of distrust, but of wisdom. You are not being cold, you are being careful. Because loyalty is not proven by presence, but by energy. The silent way someone holds your truth when you are not there to defend it. Think of a fire. When it's small, you shield it with your hands to keep the wind from extinguishing it. But if you invite everyone around to see it, soon the careless ones will step too close, and their breath alone can blow it out. Your dreams, your ideas, your plans, they are fires. Until they are strong enough to stand on their own, they must be guarded from the careless breath of others. Some will offer warmth, others will offer wind. You must know the difference. Not every listener has earned the right to hear your truth. Some people listen only to repeat. Others listen to compare, a few listen to judge. But the rarest ones, they listen to understand, to protect, to help you rise higher. Those are the souls you keep close. You don't need many. One genuine listener is worth more than a crowd of curious ones. The rest you bless in silence and love from a distance. Loyalty is quiet. It's not in the promises people make when you are near, but in the silence they keep when you are not. The loyal ones don't need to broadcast your secrets to prove their importance. They don't gossip in your absence or question your dreams. They stand like mountains, firm, still, and steady, while others crumble in the noise of their own insecurity. But before you look for loyal listeners outside, learn to become one within yourself. Be your own confidant. Sit with your thoughts. Listen to your inner voice more than you speak them aloud. As you grow wiser, your circle becomes smaller, not because you have become arrogant, but because you have become aware. You realize that peace is worth more than approval, that trust must be earned, not assumed. You begin to speak only when necessary, and your words begin to carry weight because they are not scattered carelessly anymore. You stop feeding every ear with your truth and start feeding your soul with silence. So remember this: not every listener is loyal, and that's okay. Your truth is not meant for everyone. Protect your story like a sacred flame. Share it only with those who guard it with warmth, not wind. Because in a world full of noise and curiosity, your silence becomes your strength, your discernment becomes your protection, and your loyalty to your own peace becomes your greatest power. There is power in being unseen, power in being unpredictable, power in being mysterious. The moment people can read your every thought, predict your every move, or understand your every plan, they no longer respect your depth. They assume they already know you. But when you cultivate mystery, you hold an aura that cannot be explained, only felt. You become a presence that demands silence instead of noise, respect instead of curiosity. Mystery builds power because it creates distance between what others think they know about you and who you truly are becoming. The most powerful forces in the universe are invisible. You cannot see the wind, but you feel its strength. You cannot see electricity, but it lights entire cities. You cannot see faith, but it moves lives. The same is true for your energy. When you stop revealing everything, your emotions, your goals, your next steps, you begin to generate a quiet, magnetic force. People feel it, but can't quite name it. That's the energy of someone who moves with purpose, but without explanation. Mystery keeps others guessing, but more importantly, it keeps you grounded. When you do not expose every part of yourself, you remain centered in your own being. You are not living for external validation or trying to prove your worth to the world. You move in silence, guided by something higher. Your intuition, your vision, your peace. The mystery you create is not about manipulation or secrecy. It's about self-respect. It's about understanding that not every detail of your journey is meant for public display. Some parts of your growth must be protected from the noise of the world, because silence is the soil where power takes root. When you reveal everything, you give others the ability to influence your direction. Their opinions, expectations, and doubts begin to seep into your path. But when you keep certain things to yourself, you remain untouched by their projections. You keep the sacred connection between you and your purpose pure. And in that purity, your strength multiplies. The less you explain, the more they wonder. The less they know, the more you control the narrative of your own life. Mystery also commands respect in a world addicted to oversharing. Everyone wants to be seen, to be known, to be heard, but when you stand apart, calm, silent, self-contained, you become rare. And what is rare naturally becomes valuable. People lean in to understand you, but they never quite can. They sense something different, not arrogance, not distance, but a quiet mastery over yourself. You don't need to announce your success. Your energy speaks it for you. You don't need to argue to prove your wisdom. Your composure proves it more deeply than words ever could. Mystery is also freedom. When no one knows your next step, no one can interfere with it. You can change, evolve, and grow without explanation. You can disappear for a while and return stronger, more focused, more aligned. Life flows differently for those who understand this truth. They stop chasing attention and start channeling energy. Every word they choose to withhold strengthens their power. Every silence they hold adds to their peace. So do not fear being misunderstood. Fear being too easily understood. The one who cannot be fully read can never be fully controlled. Let others wonder what you're thinking, where you're going, and how you keep growing. You owe no one an explanation for your evolution. You owe only your loyalty to the quiet path that builds your power from within. Walk in mystery. Let your silence become your language and your presence become your story. Remember, the ocean's surface looks calm, but its depth holds infinite power. Be that ocean. Speak less, move with intention, and let the depth of your silence remind the world that true strength does not shout, it simply exists, unshaken and unseen. Every dream begins as a quiet spark inside you, fragile, pure, sacred. But the moment you speak too soon, that spark begins to flicker. Words, though powerful, can also weaken the very energy that gives your vision life. Words can dilute manifestation. Every time you talk about what you are still building, you spread that energy outward, leaking the force that should have been directed inward. You trade creation for conversation, momentum for momentary excitement. When a seed is planted in the soil, it must remain buried in darkness until it is ready